I get this all the time. Pete, is this training info for naturals or enhanced lifters? Like as if there's two completely different rule books for building muscle. Now, as someone who works with both naturals and enhanced lifters, I've worked with literally all walks of life. I'm not gonna sit here and say that a natural can train and should be able to recover from what an enhanced lifter can do. But if we're talking about the stimulus that you need in training to create an environment for muscle growth, the best way to train to build muscle for both groups is the exact same way. Progressive overload, intensity, consistency, and recovery. That goes for whether you're natural or not. Here's the part that cracks me up though. People who don't actually understand how training actually creates muscle growth, whether you're natural or not, they'll say, but enhanced lifters recover faster. And while that's true, they also automatically assume that that means that training with more volume is better. But also, in the same breath, they'll make another argument that enhanced lifters can grow from very little volume. And in fact, they all quote the same study, the one that claims that enhanced lifters can grow even with no training. And if you're not familiar with that argument, about a year ago, I pretty much tore it apart on another YouTube video. Bottom line, beyond the newbie stages, enhanced lifters have to still train hard to grow. They can just make a lot of poor decisions, still get some results that a natural might not. But to my point, their argument is that since enhanced lifters can grow with very little stimulus, that also means that a natural must do a lot more volume to create a stimulus for growth. Wait, what? You're arguing that a natural doesn't have the same recovery ability as an enhanced lifter, but you also think that naturals need to do more to grow. That's like being low on gas and deciding to take the long way home. If higher volume truly was the holy grail, then everyone on gear would just be doing double, triple, quadruple the volume, and then they'd all be growing at insane rates. But most of them don't. In fact, a lot of them are doing less volume than natural lifters. Why do you think that's the case? Because there's only so much of a stimulus that you could create, especially in one training session, that you could actually recover from and progress from. And that doesn't matter if you're natural or enhanced. Now, the funny thing is, the highest training volumes I've ever seen all come from natural lifters. Not just because they're natural, but usually it's from the subgroup of naturals who subscribe to so much science-based training. And guess what? Most of these guys, they simply spin their wheels for years. Understand this. You don't get bigger by chasing optimal in theory. You get bigger by chasing effort in the real world. Again, as someone that's coached and worked with hundreds of naturals and enhanced lifters, I see one common denominator in both groups. That is, intensity, effort, and execution builds more muscle than anything else. So please, do yourself a favor, forget the natty or not debate for a second. Ask yourself first, are you actually training hard enough to force your body to grow? In your training sessions, are you progressing in weight and reps? Are you actually giving your muscles a reason to grow? Because I'll tell you what, pretty reps, perfect tempo, 20+ set marathon sessions, they're not gonna do a damn thing unless they're backed with intensity. That's whether you're on TRT, you're blasting gear, or you're completely natural. Remember this, hard, progressive training will always do more for your body than 5 half-ass reps. So is my style of training and information for naturals or enhanced? The answer is, it's for people who actually wanna grow. Period. Solid training advice is solid training advice whether you're natural or not. Stop trying to make it way more complicated than it needs to be. If you're not growing, you probably don't need more volume. You probably don't need to find the magical formula. You just need more intent. You need more effort. You need to focus on progression. Train with intent, focus on recovery like it matters, eat like it matters, and focus on progression. That's how muscle is built, natural or not.